Vasily Chapayev, the most famous hero of the Civil War, a character from a popular film, several books, and hundreds of jokes, is the subject of this biography. This extraordinary man's life is bright and fascinating. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we will tell you the story of Vasily Ivanovich Chapayev's life. Before watching, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Enjoy the viewing. Vasily, like many historical figures, came from a simple family of a rural carpenter. The boy was born on January 28, 1887, in a small house in the Chuvash province of the Kazan gubernia. His grandfather, Stepan Gavrilovich, a village elder, was recorded in the birth certificates as Gavrilov, and only starting from Ivan Stepanovich did the family surname Chapaev become official. It is also noted that Vasily's father was of Russian descent, and his mother was Chuvash. 10 years later, the hardworking family moved to the Samara gubernia, where the father, who received carpentry contracts, enrolled Vasily in a church school sponsored by the boy's cousin. However, after 3 years, Ivan Stepanovich took his son out of the school and started training him in carpentry. The reason for the father's disappointment with the educational institution was a harsh punishment of Vasily for a small wrongdoing during a harsh Volga winter. The boy was locked in a cold prison on top of a fire tower. He managed to escape by jumping into a snowdrift, but he caught a cold and was sick until spring. The young boy's carpentry career was interrupted by his enlistment in the army, but after 6 months, Vasily was discharged due to a cataract. The young man quickly married the daughter of a priest and set up a workshop for repairing tools used by peasants in agricultural work. On September 20th, 1914, the First World War began, and Chapaev was called back into the army. During his time on the front lines, Vasily Ivanovich rose from a junior non-commissioned officer to a feldfebel. He participated in the famous Brusilov offensive and was wounded several times, but he always returned to the front. Chapaev's bravery was partly due to turmoil in his family, and he seemed to seek death in battle. He was a skilled warrior and received government awards for his bravery, becoming almost a full Georgievsky cavalier. There is an opinion that Vasily Ivanovich's role in the Civil War was greatly exaggerated. The transformation of the Red Commander into a legendary figure occurred thanks to the book by Dmitry Firmenov, who served as a commissar in Chapaev's division, and especially due to the film Chapaev by the Vasilyev brothers. However, Chapaev was indeed a brave commander who felt more confident in battle than in peaceful life. He skillfully maintained discipline and surprised the enemy with unconventional tactics. The RSDRP, which Vasily Ivanovich joined in the fall of 1917, was not his first political affiliation. During the chaotic war years, Chapaev fluctuated, aligning himself with anarchists before joining the Bolsheviks. At first, he was mistaken for a monarchist, but his image as a brave, frontline soldier with medals on his chest helped promote Bolshevik ideas among soldiers, and his military career quickly advanced. Chapaev's troops fought in the Volga region and the Urals. In January 1918, Vasily Ivanovich led the dissolution of the Nikolaev provincial government, suppressed several anti-Soviet uprisings, and soon formed a Red Guard unit. In May, he reorganized these units into Red Army regiments. On June 8, 1918, Soviet power was overthrown in Samara, marking the beginning of the Civil War. In July, the White Guards captured Ufa, Bugolma, and Syzran, but on August 23rd, Chapaev's forces recaptured Nikolaevsk. In the winter of 1919, Chapaev trained at a military academy in Moscow, but soon fled. Despite his talents in organization and combat experience, Chapaev did not adapt well to academic life. By spring and summer 1919, he had risen from brigade commander to commander of the 25th Rifle Division, fighting against Kolchak's forces. During the battle for Ufa, Chapaev was injured in the head. In July of that year, he was awarded the Order of the Red Banner. As for his personal life, Vasily Ivanovich had 2 wives, both named Pelagia. Both of them were unfaithful to the brave military man. The first, Pelagia Metlina, left him for a man working in the Saratov tramway, and the second, Pelagia Kameshki, left him for a fellow officer. The first wife, who married Vasily at the age of 17, bore him 3 children. The descendants honored the memory of their legendary father. His eldest son, Sasha, became a career officer and was awarded numerous medals and orders for his service. He passed away in the 1980s as a major general. The younger son, Arkady, chose a career as a pilot but died in a plane crash 2 years before World War II. His daughter, Klavdia, lived for 87 years and dedicated her life to collecting information about her father and preserving his memory. His great-granddaughter, Evgenia, wrote a book about him, My Unknown Chapaev. There are also accounts of 2 other romantic relationships involving Chapayev. For a brief period, his lover was the daughter of a Cossack colonel, Tatiana, and later, Vasily Ivanovich was infatuated with the wife of his comrade, Dmitry Furmanov, who was the co-author of the famous movie Chapaev. They had conflicts over their shared affection for the same woman. When Stalin recommended adding a romantic subplot to the film, the female character was named Anka the Machine Gunner, after Furmanov's wife, who was also involved with Chapayev. After the capture of the Abyssinian division, the troops spread across the surrounding settlements, and the headquarters was located in the town itself. The main fighting forces were positioned several dozen kilometers away from the headquarters. The White forces, unable to counterattack due to the great superiority of the Red Army, planned a deep raid to seize the headquarters. The raid force, consisting of 1,200 Cossacks, was tasked with traveling 150 kilometers across the steppe at night, bypassing the main Red units, and attacking the headquarters by surprise. The raid was led by Colonel Slotkov and his deputy, Colonel Borodin. After nearly a week of stealthy movement, the Cossacks succeeded in capturing a Red supply convoy, which allowed them to locate the headquarters. In the early morning hours of September 5, 1919, the Cossacks attacked the town. The surprised Red soldiers, guarding the headquarters, offered little resistance, and the Cossack force advanced rapidly. The Red forces retreated toward the Ural River, hoping to escape. Meanwhile, Chapaev managed to evade the squad sent to capture him. The Cossacks mistook another Red soldier for Chapaev, and the division commander managed to escape, though he was wounded in the arm. Chapaev organized a defense and repelled part of the fleeing soldiers with a group of about 100 men and several machine guns. However, by that time, the main Cossack forces had arrived, bringing captured artillery with them. Under artillery fire, the defense of the headquarters became impossible. During the battle, Chapaev was severely wounded in the stomach. Command was taken over by the division's chief of staff, Novikov, who helped Chapaev cross the river using a makeshift raft. Chapaev died from blood loss on the other side of the river, and his body was buried by the Cossacks. Some relatives of Chapaev believe this version, as it was confirmed by witnesses from the Cossack side. There are various theories about the location of his